Hello, buddy. Welcome to a tropical update here. This is the wide view of the Atlantic right now. We got Tropical Storm Ada, which is no more. It is weakened down to a post-tropical cyclone earlier today, and it's now no more as it races on off to the northeast away from the United States here. We also got Tropical Storm Theta in the open Atlantic, a 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm forecast continue to gradually weaken here and eventually turn into a post-tropical cyclone as well in the next 3 days here as it continues moving generally on a northeast I think it's the east-northeast east fashion here. And then, of course, the main thing to watch here, at least Atlantic-wide, is recently named Tropical Storm IOTA in the Caribbean right now. And IOTA is forecast by the National Hurricane Center to become our next major hurricane of the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season in mid-November, no less, and peak as a 120-mile-per-hour Category 3 hurricane, either near or at landfall, perhaps on the Honduras-Nicaragua border, is what the current thinking is, at least on this current National Hurricane Center forecast count. Speaking of forecast counts, let's take a look at the latest one from the National Hurricane Center here, and you can see Tropical Storm IOTA as of 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, advisory number 3. Center is currently located at 13.6 degrees north, 74.2 degrees west, moving south-southwest at 3 miles per hour with maximum sustained 1-minute winds at 40 miles per hour. As you can see in this forecast cone, have it making nearing landfall here as a 120-mile-per-hour Category 3 hurricane, very close to the Honduras-Nicaragua border. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out here. And this is a more kind of almost not set in stone, as I'd say, but more easier to forecast system here than Tropical Storm Ada was over in the Gulf of Mexico here. Current thinking is it could either make landfall in northern Nicaragua here, maybe as far north as maybe southern Belize, is what the current thinking at this point is, off the models and the National Hurricane Center forecast count. And here's what the system looks like right now on water vapor imagery right here. It gives you a little bit of a wider view of things. You can see Nicaragua and Honduras over there to your left, and Jamaica up here. And you can see a organizing Tropical Storm IOTA right here in front of your screen. And it's really remarkable to see how we're in IOTA, and we're in mid-November, and yet we're forecast to get another major hurricane here this hurricane season. Really kind of crazy season. Even models in the long term are possibly hinting at maybe something else trying to get going in this part of the world as well here in about a week or two from now. Again, really far out. I don't want to say it's going to 100% going to happen, but just be on the watch out. We may see something else form in the general vicinity of where IOTA is currently in a week or two, and hopefully it won't be a big threat to Nicaragua, Honduras, or Central America, period, like IOTA was, and most certainly, hopefully not like Ida was not too long ago. And here's not water vapor, here's infrared imagery here, a little bit of a closer look here, and you can see that convection bubbling near the center of circulation here as it continues to develop here, and it's in a really good environment here to get going. It's just up to the system itself, really, on whether or not how fast it wants to develop, or if it wants to gradually strengthen here with time. It's really kind of up to it, up to the system itself, what it wants to do here. So it's in a really favorable conditions here, really favorable. Switching basins, here's a look at the South Indian Ocean right now. We got Tropical Cyclone 01S, also known as Alicia. In the South Indian Ocean, I think it's either Alicia or Alicia. Please correct me if I'm wrong how to say it, but I want to say it's Alicia. Currently ongoing in the Southwest Indian Ocean, the first system of the season down in the Southwest Indian Ocean. Forecast to peak as a 70-knot Category 1 equivalent cyclone, which is about 80. I think it's about 85 miles per hour, if I'm not mistaken, and peak as that as it continues, generally kind of on a southwest course. Unfortunately, not forecast to threaten any land at this point in time. That could change here, but at this point, not forecast to be a threat for any land at this point. And here's what the system looks like right now off of Himawari 8. And you get to see how it's getting better and better defined here with time. Classic curved band on it, which is really indicative of a really strengthening and healthy tropical cyclone here, as you can see. And just kind of textbook example of an intensifying tropical cyclone I'm looking at right here. Cyclone Alicia right now. Also, fun fact, this is the first time the name Alicia has ever been used worldwide since 1983, and we all know 1983 is Alicia that hit Texas as a major hurricane in 1983. That was a something else. And then switching back to the Atlantic here, here's Tropical Storm Theta. As of the 3 a.m. GMT Advisory 17, center is currently located at 31.9 degrees north, 21.6 degrees west. Maximum sustained moment winds at 50 miles per hour, moving due east at 10 miles per hour. And it's forecast to continue moving due east and eventually turn into a post-tropical cyclone. And by that point, by around 12 in the morning GMT Monday, should take a sharp north turn and head towards Europe as an extratropical cyclone. Here's what the system looks like on infrared satellite imagery right now. Not as good as it did last night. It doesn't look as good as it did last night, I mean. But still a tropical storm nonetheless here. And like I said, it is forecast to continue gradually weakening here as it progresses due east here with time towards Europe eventually, probably as likely as an extratropical system here. And you can already see it looks like once you're trying to impact the system there, you can see it, bam, goes right into the system there. It looks like it's really starting to affect it now. And then here's a wide view of the Western Pacific right now. Of course, the main thing to talk about for this part of the world is Typhoon 25W, also known as VAMCO. Then, of course, we also got Tropical Storm O1S, also known as Alicia, which is forecast to become the first Category 1 equivalent cyclone for that basin. And we also got Invest 93S in that basin as well to potentially watch later on down the line here. But, of course, the main thing to talk about, of course, is in the Western Pacific. In terms of strongest storm worldwide, we got a 105 knot or about 120 mile per hour category, not 120, 24. I think it's 135 mile per hour actually here. Major hurricane in the Western Pacific right now. It's 120 miles per hour. Sorry, 120 mile per hour category 3 typhoon in the Western Pacific here. It did peak as 115 knot, 130 mile per hour Cat 4 typhoon earlier today, but now it's on a weakening trend and forecast to continue weakening here. It looks like making landfall as a weakening typhoon over northern Vietnam there, as you can see. Here's what the storm looks like on satellite imagery here, trying to take on an annular appearance here, as you can see as it passed over the Parcel Islands right there, those little tiny white dots. The Parcel Islands looks like it passed right over one of them there. Not too familiar what that island's name is, but I know for a fact it's part of the Parcel Islands. And it looks like that one got hit directly head on by that typhoon there, this typhoon. And as you can see, it's trying to take on a kind of a truck tire annular appearance here. Really incredible how it's trying to intensify it, even though it's in really kind of unfavorable sea surface temperatures here. It has everything going for it, ventilation wise and upper level wise here, but in terms of sea surface temperatures, it's a no-go. So it's really interesting to see the system get going here in this part of the world with these types of conditions going for it here. Really remarkable. So this is a wider view of things here. Water vapor imagery of the system right now, and you can see how it's been doing for the past 3 hours here. And again, a kind of a textbook annular typhoon here. Well, nearly annular, I think, typhoon here. And I believe that's pretty much going to be about it for this tropical update here. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. And if you want to see the links that I use for this tropical update, look down in the description below. They're all down there. You can click on the links down below and get information yourself if you're curious on what sites and what links that I used for this tropical update if you want to see what's currently going on or what are the tropics yourself. And I guess quickly, main summary here before I get going. On the Western Pacific side of things, of course, you're not looking at the Western Pacific. This is the Atlantic right now. But on the Western Pacific side of things, keep a close eye on Typhoon VAMCO here. Again, it is forecast to continue weakening as it nears Vietnam, but now it's forecast to make landfall pretty much over Vietnam as a weakening typhoon here compared to a moderate tropical storm like we were thinking last update here. So just please keep a close eye on this. Pay attention to your local officials over there. If they tell you to evacuate, you do so. And really stay safe over there. Cyclone Alicia and the South Indian Ocean is not forecast to be a threat to anybody, fortunately, so don't really pay attention to that. On the Atlantic side of things, which is what you're looking at right now, of course, IOTA is no longer a threat for anybody. Tropical Storm Theta is still in the open Atlantic and not really forecast to be really a threat for anybody. The main threat right now, of course, is Tropical Storm Iota in the Central Caribbean. That is forecast to become our next major hurricane and peak as a 120 mile per hour Category 3 major hurricane, either as it nears Central America here in the next few days here. So really something to keep an eye on and watch here, and just keep those people in your thoughts, because they've been through a lot this hurricane season here. So just keep them in your thoughts, and really pay attention to your local officials down there. If they tell you to evacuate, you do so. And also listen to the National Hurricane Center as well for the latest information on that particular system here, if I could speak. Also, really quickly, there's an invest over here to see in East Pacific here. That may become our next name system. If it does become our next name system, which it has a fairly high chance of doing so, next name up would be Polo, I believe. So there's something to watch there potentially. And again, it is forecast to, for the most part, stay out to sea from what I understand at this point. So yeah. So again, that's pretty much going to be about it for this tropical update here. Stay safe, everybody, especially for those of you guys in Central America and Vietnam. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be about it for this tropical update here. So hope everybody has a great day or night, wherever you guys are. Stay safe, of course. Until then, see you guys in the next video. Peace.